Alright guys, so we have dry fitted our hull bottom panels. Kind of exciting. I can't get the back of these down until I kind of have to get the front secured. I'm trying not to put screws into this too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the front seam here, and I'm going to fill it with some resin silica mix. I'm going to do probably about 2 feet up, probably about to where this clamp is. And then over the next few days, every night, I'll just kind of squeeze it in a little bit. And I'll do the next couple feet until it lays down flat in the back. And I can show you right now. I don't know if you can see all this, but I'll show the gap gets wider and wider as it goes there. And then in the back here, obviously this angle has to actually sit on this angle here. And when I push these two together, essentially it should flatten this angle down in the back. We're going to do that tonight. We have also gotten the big side hull panel on there. Just clamp the front to try to get this bend on it. And I don't know how well you can see the curve on this. So there is a pretty good curve there. So we got to go a little bit more, but if it starts bending with the heat, we should be able to clamp it a little bit more over the next couple days. We're going to do this side tonight. And then if it all looks good tomorrow after work, we'll start on the other side and do the same thing. Total load. 2-to-1 resin with silica thickener. Sorry, it doesn't really say.
Just a silica thickener.
Yeah. That was my soup.
And if you want 15% off, use the code Dauntless.
Hey guys, so these panels have really been kicking our butts. The hull bottom panels, we have 2 of them up here now, and obviously you can see they actually have a twist to them. It goes from flat in the back to almost vertical in the front here. Let's see if I can get you a profile there. So that's pretty steep in the front, and then as you come to the back, it's pretty flat. So they actually have to twist. Again, using clamps, I mean, it took a little bit of swearing and time and frustration, but we finally did get it all clamped together. I come back the next day and release the clamps, and I've already released the front clamps here, but that's all it sprung. It's really not a lot at all. I can push that in by hand now. So, like I say, it really is helping a lot, and we're going to keep working with it. If it works, keep going, right? I was able to use ratchet straps to keep the top down. If you see right here how it's still separated, but where the ratchet straps are, it was able to pull it in pretty decently. Yeah, so we were a little bit of fighting with this. Not a lot of footage just because it's so time consuming trying to get these panels lined up. Hopefully tonight we can glue all the seams on the hull bottom panel, and I'm going to continue on gluing the seams on the bridge deck.
What are we doing?
All right, so we got to pull this hull bottom panel down to the top of the forms. We've tried a ratchet strap from the bottom of the form up over the panels and down, and it's just not working. So what we did is we screwed a cleat here just below the top, and we're actually going to use a piece on top of the whole thing, and we're kind of going to use it as a press and squeeze everything together. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so can you squeeze that together some? Ready? No? That might be right. That might be good enough. Let's see.
You on the board down there?
Huh?
You're on the board down there?
Yeah, I'm on the board there. Alright, so now you can look down and see if that's touching. It should be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Good.
Perfect.
Yeah. Don't go any farther than here. Whatever you do, don't try not to lean on these. Okay. So I don't know how much you're going to be able to get from there. So.
I can at least clean up.
Yep. That's fine. I'll get it in a sec. I'm going to need a little bit more if you want to mix a little bit more for me. some spots that might be dripping through, like here. Because that first batch might have still been a little wet.
Ooh, that went right through.
Yeah, too liquidy.
It's getting warm.
So what we are doing is we're going to reinforce the seams that we've glued with some fiberglass tape. Cassie's over here set up, ready to go. And we're just going to reinforce these two seams here, and then the seams on the top of the hull bottom panels. I want to do that before we try to squeeze this in, only to keep it from cracking, because that epoxy doesn't seem very strong when it's just epoxy and filler. So I've already sanded everything. Just wiping it down now. So Cassie's going to pre-saturate the pieces out here for me and just hand them up to me on the hull, and I'll just roll them down with the bubble roller.
Is this 12-ounce tape?
Okay.
Yeah, hop on up.
Yeah, you climb up.
Ready?
Alright, you ready?
There's one.
And we're just doing a couple little tabs like that just to kind of hold a little bit more reinforcement on this. The other one's going to be right here. And this is how we get off the forms. Whee! Cut it. Yep. Okay. So this should be nice and easily fit right into here, and hopefully you guys can all see this.
Did you restart that camera?
I did. If I didn't, I'm talking to myself. It could be either way, honestly. Yeah, you know. I'm just pushing this up now, just trying to get it a little bit more even on the overlap. Now they actually recommend a 2-inch tape to do all the joints on these. Sorry, a 2-inch overlap, a 4-inch tape to do all the joints. I was a little bit more comfortable using a wider tape, so I went with a 6-inch wide tape. Just for a little bit more peace of mind when I'm doing all the joints. This is basically how we do the rest of the boat now. Everything is just fiberglass tape, so. And just make sure it's in the corner all the way, okay? And really, the fingers are usually the best. All these fancy tools, and it's so much easier just using your fingers. All right, so what Cassie's doing now is mixing some more filler, medium density filler, and it's just a silica to the remainder of the resin, and
Super thick.
you're making it super thick, peanut butter consistency. And we are going to touch up the seams that we tried to glue last night. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, like right here, and hopefully this is aiming the right way. I can't see the screen, but it sagged down through. Like we glued this last night. We have the same mixture, and it actually sagged through the joint. So it's holding in some spots, but other spots it's not. So I'm just gonna fill it up now and let this set, and then I'll do underneath the straps later on here, after we pull the clamps off and stuff. Once this is all glued, that fiberglass setup, that should give us enough strength to kind of hold everything in place at that point. So, and, yeah. So this is all dry to the touch now. We did this morning, and this is still tacky. This is where they say to cut this with a knife, so we're gonna try it. See how well it works.
Oh, wow.
So that's what we were doing wrong last time. We weren't waiting long enough or too long or something. Yeah, should have gloves on.
Way easier, huh?
Yeah, but it's gonna screw up the blades pretty quick. Here is I'm gonna cut back this peel ply about 6 inches all the way around, and I'm gonna leave the main body of the peel ply on until we actually have the panels in place and we're ready to fair everything on the inside and outside. But if I go 6 inches all the way around, it'll give me plenty of room to get my fiberglass tape on all the joints. Don't stop now, you're so close. This is where I need, you got a little board, huh? I was using the board just to kind of disperse the pressure. Because obviously we're forcing this kind of into place a little bit.
Oh, Jesus!
Where is this popping?
Oh.
What? Give yourself a heart attack now?
Yes!
Sorry?
I didn't give myself a heart attack. You gave me a heart attack.
I gave you a heart attack? Did you get it on video?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So when Cassie dies of a heart attack, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry. Alright, so what we're doing is we're just fitting the tip of the hull bottom panels. We have it glued and fiberglassed up there. I don't know if you can see that spot there. So up to that point is good, and we just have this tip to fit. What I've done is I've cut some angled blocks here, some little wedges, and hopefully that'll hold the clamps a little bit better, and hopefully we can just clamp this in and fiberglass it. We're going to fill it, and then I'm going to lay a small piece of fiberglass, probably about a foot long, over the tip just to give it a little bit extra strength, because the epoxy and filler is very brittle. From what we're finding, so every time it moves a little bit or shifts, it has a tendency to crack. I actually have a spot up top I have to grind out and redo, but
Be careful of your hand up top in case it does pop. Like that. Oh. Just that crack. The glue crack.
yep. Hey guys, so we filleted the seams on the hull bottom panels last night. I put a fiberglass patch to kind of hold everything in place, and what we didn't notice was it actually spread away from the forms pretty far. I don't know if you can see, I got a clamp on there now, but it spread pretty far, so when we actually clamped it back in, it cracked all the fillet material here. We're at a point where, I mean, this is really just kicking our butts, and we're trying to figure out the best way to proceed at this point. We're probably going to end up cutting this whole hull bottom panel apart, starting from scratch. I'm going to start sinking screws into all these panels. I was trying to avoid it, only because it's a boat. I don't want to put more holes in it than I need to, but at this point I think that's our best option. It's kind of what they recommend anyway. So yeah, so if you see some drastic tear down, well, that's why, because this is fighting us too bad, and we're switching gears and gonna go from there. Hopefully these screws are a lot easier and faster, and we can just patch the holes after. All right, thanks for watching. sat down.
You being a good boy? Yeah. Good job. Good boy.
What are you looking at? Keep driving, lady. Mind your business.
I would slow down too if I saw that.
I'm starting to feel Ross's pain there. Up and down the halls all day long. It's got to. I'm tired. I've been doing it for half an hour.